Almost every Alaska travel guide online is leading tourists into the exact same experience. In 2026, more than 1 million travelers will crowd the same cruise ship ports, walk the same 3 streets in Juneau, and leave thinking they've truly seen Alaska. But they miss the real Alaska entirely, because while the crowds stay trapped along the coastline, the greatest travel loophole in America is happening deep in the interior. And once you see it, you'll never look at Alaska travel the same way again. So before your next vacation, save this video, because the last place in this story might be the single greatest hidden gem in America. If you really want to understand why Alaska is one of the most unforgettable places in the world, you have to leave the cruise ports behind and start an actual Alaska road trip. And there's one road that changes everything, the Richardson Highway. This long stretch of asphalt cuts straight through the Alaskan wilderness, past glaciers, mountain ranges, abandoned towns, and valleys so massive they barely feel real. Most Alaska itineraries never take you here, and that's exactly why you should go. Because the deeper you drive into the interior, the stranger Alaska becomes, especially in summer. For a few weeks every year, the sun barely sets at all. The Alaska midnight sun gives parts of the state nearly 24 hours of daylight, turning the entire wilderness into one endless golden hour. Most tourists use this extra daylight to cram more activities into their afternoon, but smart travelers use it differently. At 2 a.m., Alaska still looks like sunset. The highways are empty, the tour buses are gone, and the wilderness suddenly feels alive. Moose walk across silent roads, bears roam near the rivers. Even the air feels different when the entire world is awake in the middle of the night. And during those hours, Alaska stops feeling like a tourist destination and starts feeling wild again. But the midnight sun is only the beginning, because hidden deep in the eastern interior lies one of the most overlooked places in America, Wrangell St. Elias National Park. It's the largest national park in the United States, bigger than Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Switzerland combined, and almost nobody visits it. Most Alaska travel guides barely mention it at all. Why? Because getting there means driving the legendary McCarthy Road, a rough gravel route that scares away most tourists before they ever try. But that's exactly what protects the experience, because at the end of that road sits something incredible. The abandoned mining town of Kennecott, surrounded by giant glaciers and towering peaks. The town feels frozen in time, like the edge of civilization, and unlike the overcrowded national parks in the lower 48, this place still feels untouched. Here, you can strap crampons onto your boots and walk directly onto the massive Root Glacier. No giant crowds, no packed viewing platforms, no tour guide rushing you forward every 5 minutes, just ice, silence, and one of the rawest landscapes in North America. This is the side of Alaska travel most people never see. But if you time your Alaska trip perfectly, the experience becomes even more unreal. By late August, something incredible happens. The endless daylight finally begins to fade, just enough for the northern lights to return. At the same time, temperatures are still mild, roads remain open, and the brutal winter conditions haven't arrived yet. It creates one of the shortest and most perfect travel windows anywhere in America. And there's one place where everything comes together, Chena Hot Springs. Imagine sitting in steaming natural mineral water, while green waves of light move across the sky above you, the aurora borealis. No extreme survival gear, no Arctic expedition, just silence, heat, mountains, and one of the greatest natural phenomena on Earth. This is the real Alaska, not the crowded cruise ship version, not the souvenir shop version, the version hidden far beyond the coastline, where the roads get quieter, the mountains get bigger, and the wilderness still feels endless. because the best places in America usually aren't the easiest to reach, and sometimes the most unforgettable experiences begin at the end of a gravel road. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe to Wishspots.